CEO Live Talks.
I am Dr. Swannie Jett, and I have a passion for public health for over 30 years. Now, I'm in a position to affect change, and these are the critical conversations about health in our community with the people who can help me make those changes. Good afternoon. Welcome to CEO Live Talks. I'm your host, Dr. Swannie Jett. Today I have a good friend coming to the set, Miss Byrd. How you doing,
Hey,
lady?
great to
I
see
give
you.
you a hug.
Okay, yes. Thank you for having me.
No, it's always a blessing
Yeah,
to be able to talk with friends
I
and have
agree.
you on the show.
Yeah.
So as I customarily do, I ask people about their background. Where did they grow up? Things that you don't see on the internet, you don't see on social
Right.
media, because that gives me the fabric of the person.
Yeah, I love that. Well, I grew up here in Louisville.
Okay.
Generations of my family are Kentuckians, and when I grew up was born in the Highlands. That's where my parents lived, and then when I was 5, my parents moved out to Oldham County,
Okay.
where I grew up. Had great childhood there.
Right.
Yeah.
And so what did your parents do?
So my parents are now they're both retired JCPS teachers.
Okay.
So my mom was a kindergarten teacher. And so
Wow.
if you know anything about, I know you have little kids, I have a kindergartner. There is no one more like special or famous than a kindergarten teacher. So
Yes.
my
Yes.
mom is famous because she is a kindergarten teacher
I
here in
know.
Louisville.
So she was very nurturing.
I don't know if I'd call her nurturing. My mom is very competitive. But education was truly like a major focus in our family. And
Okay.
then my dad is a retired JCPS teacher also,
Okay.
but he was a special education high school teacher.
Okay.
So very different.
Very different. But it's still it's working with kids.
Absolutely.
Right. And
yes.
to work with special education, that's a talent too.
I can't imagine my
Yeah.
dad's job and
Yeah.
just how challenging and different every day is when you're working with, high school students, but
Right.
especially high school students that might have different learning
Yeah.
differences.
Well, you have to have a very nurturing spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
that's why I said that seems like
Yeah.
a combination. Even though I know the mom being a kindergarten teacher was
Yeah.
very strict, because
Right.
you got kindergarten kids, they
right.
running everywhere.
Yeah.
I can imagine my daughter, who's now in first grade, and I just look, you just sit down here,
Right.
right?
Right.
And then your dad comes along and he'd be like, no. It's okay. Let them do this here.
Right.
I mean, I could just picture
Yeah.
that. I could picture that.
Yeah.
So how did that shape you as a person?
Well, I just think that education was just like the foundation of our family. Reading, like taking time to do homework together, and it just was like an expectation that my sisters and I were.
So how many sisters?
So I have 2 younger sisters.
Okay.
One sister is 2 years younger than me, and so the two of us really grew up together.
Okay.
And then we have another sister that is 10 years younger than me. So
Okay.
the baby of the family.
She's kind of like off to the side.
Yeah.
That's 8 years difference. So she's way there.
My parents were very different
Right. Oh, of
parents
course.
to her than
Of
they were
course.
to the two of us.
Of course.
So.
I mean, I got a 6
Yeah,
and
right.
an 8-year-old, and
Right.
I'm a very different parent than I was in my 20s.
Absolutely.
I'm almost like the kid's grandparent,
Right.
even though I'm not their grandparent.
Sometimes you probably feel like you're
I
their
feel like
grandparents.
their grandparent, but I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, but I'm a little bit more. But they listen.
Right.
That's the difference, because a
yeah.
male voice, they listen.
Well, you learn a lot too. I think that's the thing,
Yeah.
like just an appreciation of learning in
Yeah.
all aspects of life.
Yeah.
I think that was very important growing up, but like, you learn a lot as a parent.
Oh,
And you
yeah.
get a little better each
Yeah.
time. So.
Yeah. Well, there is no book, even though there's books out there, but there is really no book to say how to do it.
Right. Yeah.
And it tells you a book on parenting, but it don't give you a book on the kids.
Right.
Right.
Because
And
they're all
They different.
Yeah.
And
Right.
we're unique. So I got to ask the question, because I am watching this rivalry now between my kids. Did you and your sister fight? That competitive spirit.
Absolutely, we fought. But I think the thing is, we did over like silly
It'd be
things.
silly stuff.
Silly
Right,
stuff.
'cause-
It doesn't matter.
Right.
but like we all, I mean, you learn so much
Right.
negotiating with,
Oh yeah.
I mean, the skills that I learned with my sister.
Right.
And I try to tell my kids now, like, if you want this, say you want the other thing, because then they'll want that, and then you'll get what you want in
Right.
the end.
Right.
Like, you
Right.
just
Right.
learn all these little tips.
Look,
So,
I deal with my daughters now, and they mom, she gets fed up,
yeah,
and so I'm debating and negotiating
right,
with a
right,
6 and 8-year-old, and I'm like, it's the barter system. You
right.
get this time, you get this the
Yeah,
next time,
right.
and they sort of get
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
but at that time, no, I
right,
want that. I'm
yeah,
like, no. Here's how you go about that,
right.
right? But y'all had a competitive spirit as well.
We did.
Okay.
We're very competitive. I think too, like I would say just about my parents, my mom is very outgoing.
She's competitive one though.
She's competitive. She has, she's friends with everyone. She
Right.
knows everyone. She's a famous kindergarten teacher, so
Right.
like everybody knows
And they
her.
come back.
Right. And then my dad was a quiet guy, so he's not real talkative. Anybody that knows him, he's very quiet. And so he was also an only child.
Okay, makes a lot of sense.
So like
Yeah,
he
he's an
didn't
introvert.
deal with this at
Right.
all. And so I think one of the things that just naturally happened, the 70s, my dad was like in the 70s running craze. I don't know if you know.
Oh, it was all hippie.
Yeah. So he was a big runner, and
Yeah.
he had these two girls and didn't really know how to talk to us. So he just put us in sports.
Okay.
And I think
makes
that
sense.
was how our family really communicated. And I think how my dad
Okay.
related to us as little kids
Right.
is through
Sports.
through sports.
And that era, not only was Woodstock and hippie, but that was an Oregon, Prefontaine.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Running, so it was real
right.
big.
The Nike, the earliest of Nike,
Early.
and so yeah, I mean, I think like more education and health, and just kind of what you can do early on to
Right,
like have a
right,
long life, and
right,
so
right.
I think that was that's one of the things I say. My sister and I, the two of us were raised differently, like
Right.
very healthy snacks, very healthy meals,
Right.
and by the other one, they're like, whatever, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that now, but it's more so my wife than me, because my other kids, there was no snacks in the house.
Right.
There was
Same.
no drinks in the house.
Right.
No nothing.
No sugary cereals.
No sugaries, none of that. Now they have that.
Right.
And I only step in when it's a little too much.
Right.
I like, look, I done seen you eat 3 suckers in a row.
Right. We're
Stop.
done. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And the mom, and she looks at me, she's like, oh, yeah.
Right.
So
Yes,
I get it.
Exactly.
I get it.
Yeah.
So now you're in sports. So what was your favorite sport?
I would say it's whatever I was playing at the time.
Okay.
But my two favorites were soccer and basketball.
Okay.
So those are my.
Which one were you the best? Now, I have an idea,
Probably.
but I want you to tell me.
Well, probably soccer. I mean,
You better say soccer.
yeah. I had more of a build for soccer,
Right,
but they're both really fun.
They are fun.
Yeah.
And amazing how much basketball has changed
Mm-hmm.
today. I remember when I was in college, and I was like, man, where's the WNBA at?
Right.
And that's because I was at University of Tennessee. Well, I was at Tennessee State first, University of Tennessee, and I thought it was some girls could play.
Right.
But
right.
the league wasn't ready.
Right. Exactly.
And soccer was sort of like that too.
Mhm, absolutely.
It was just building.
Right. It was. So it was a great time, I think, to grow up in sports because there was more opportunities, just more leagues. But I played on the first girls club soccer team in Louisville. So it was all just starting.
And it's just crazy to even think about that.
I know. And I remember maybe like 5th grade, 6th grade, something like that. The World Cup team came to Louisville to do a clinic. And these are like,
Superstars.
like Mia Hamm, Brandy Chastain, like
Yeah.
these names that everyone knew, but it was before the 94 World Cup where we beat China. So it was a couple years before that. And it was just like a clinic. It was actually at U of L Shelby campus, like not really
Advertised.
Yeah,
Nobody made a big
exactly.
deal.
But for us that played soccer, now it was a really big deal.
Right.
But just to think of something like that happening now, it would be huge.
It would be huge.
It would be huge.
And so I follow a lot of soccer because one of my friends, Shamika Quelo, is general
Uh-huh.
counsel for Watch the Spirit.
Oh wow,
So
that's
I've
incredible.
gotten a chance to
Yeah.
go see them play, take
Yeah.
pictures. So it's exciting
Right.
now to see where the sport is at. But I knew you had to have dreams of playing. So
Yeah.
tell me what happened.
Well, I did.
Because I'm thinking like Olympics and you being professional.
No, I'm a realist, so that was not never going to be in the cards.
Right.
Um, but I think for me, I think about this now, like why I love sports so much, and like
Hmm.
what I think it was just really fun. It's like an active person, so I
Hmm.
think just like being out, running around, whatever it is. Um, but the thing looking back that I loved the most was just the camaraderie and the teamwork.
Okay.
Some of the the best times were like the bus ride or the
Hmm.
locker room before the game.
Hmm.
It was just so much fun, and I
Hmm.
think that's really what I mean, I love to compete. I still do.
Hmm.
Um, but that I think for me was like what I love the most. So I played soccer in college, but that was was
That
where it
was it.
ended. After that, I had to go get a job. So
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Park Duval. My name is Desmond Pritchard. I'm your Chief HR Officer here at Park Duval. I'm located normally 9 times out of 10 at the Wilson location. I'm beyond honored to support our community, to work with our community. There's a lot ahead of us. We have a lot we're ready to do, we're willing to do, and we can't wait to have you on board, to have you doing it with us.
At Park Duval Community Health Centers, we go beyond medicine, breaking barriers to care across Louisville, Taylorsville, and Eminence, Kentucky. From primary care and dental to behavioral health and pharmacy support, we serve thousands, many facing financial hardship. With 7 locations and a bilingual staff, we welcome everyone because PDCHC, your health is our mission. We are Park Duval for everybody, everywhere.
In today's society, people do not take the time to learn the job they're doing
right,
now.
right, exactly,
Don't worry about where you're trying to go,
right.
right? And because a lot of times people so focused on down the road, they miss the lessons at that particular
I
job
agree.
all the time. So say that again because the youth need to hear that.
No, I completely agree.
Right.
Actually, we were talking to our current development program analyst yesterday in the office, and that's one of the advice that several of us were giving. Like, do the job you're in right now really well, because if you can do that, people want to work with you. If
Right.
you're really good at what you're doing, you're helping other people, you're connecting with people, and you're learning. That's who everyone wants to work with.
Right.
And that's what, opens the doors. So I think just absorbing, all of the things that come, I mean, at every level of job, there are things that you can learn. And so certainly our teams within our retail branches, they're the front facing people of PNC Bank. When someone thinks about PNC Bank, they do not think about me.
No.
They think about the person that they see when they walk into the branch. Were they kind to them? Did they smile and greet them? Did they ask them about their day? Did they know their dog is at the vet and they
Right.
knew what was the outcome? Like, that's what,
It's the relationship.
yeah,
So
exactly.
did you get a call from Kevin Bruce to say he went into one of the branches and somebody treated him nice?
No, I don't think
I
so, but
think,
I love to hear that. I'm
yeah, I
hoping
think,
that's what you were going to say.
yeah. Well, no, he said they treated him nice. He gave me a phone call.
Yeah,
And he said, I went to PNC, and they treated me very well that
that's
day.
great.
And I was like, that's good. Because, and I'm sure this probably happens to you. I'm at Kroger on, I think it's 28th and Broadway. I'm buying some food for
Whatever, yeah.
lunch, and somebody says, hey, the phones, we can't get through the phone system. Or, hey, your registration person was very nice.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, they know who.
Yes. Right.
I'm like, uh-oh, I'll take care of it, right? Give me your name,
Absolutely.
your number.
And you
Does that
will.
happen to you?
It happens all the time.
Oh, wow.
And
And you get a phone call sometime.
a phone call, an email, but that's, my job. Like everyone is a client of PNC Bank. It doesn't
Right.
matter what,
Right.
in what capacity.
Right.
We need to make sure that we're taking care of our clients.
And that's very important.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, you've been regional president for about 3 years. So
3 years.
prior to that, right, did you see, because at some point you had to see yourself being regional president. At one point, did you figure
There
that out?
was a point,
Yeah.
yes. But it took a while. I think I've just loved to learn. Like, so on the outside, it looks like I've worked at basically the same company for 23 years.
Right,
I'm a banker. That's
Right.
what I do.
right,
Not much has changed, right?
right.
But in many ways, especially if you're in the industry, I've done a lot of different things within the bank.
Mhm.
And so it's, I do feel grateful to have had all of these different opportunities to learn, to take on. It's always been because I've been really focused on what I was doing and helping other people along the way.
Mhm.
And then suddenly those people are, say, hey, Kristen, what about this team? Come work
Right.
on this team.
Right.
And so, I've worked in retail and in business banking and then private banking,
Okay.
in different jobs within
Yes,
that.
different jobs totally.
Yeah, and always lived here, but I've been focused here in Louisville. But I've also had regional jobs where I've covered other cities outside of Kentucky, and there was a point in time, and honestly, it was somebody else said, I think it was somebody that I worked closely with,
Mhm.
and this person said, I want to be president, and I was like, well, you want to be president? And it never occurred to me that and so when I'm like, well, if you
If
can
you
do it,
can
I can do
it.
it.
That's that competitive
I'm
nature.
competitive, I know.
Right, right.
So,
You're
anyway.
like, huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, I got it. But sometimes because you're so focused on the job, you're not really thinking down the road. And it happens like that. I was thrust to different jobs
Right.
at the health department. And so, I went from environmental coordinator to run a healthy style program to run a clinical operations. Now, some of these moves I was fighting,
mm-hmm.
right? Because I'm like, it's not my field of expertise.
Right.
My background is engineering and environmental.
Uh-huh.
I'm in some soft skills. I'm in healthcare. And then it just dawned on me, I could run a health department.
Right.
I probably should go do that.
Right. I mean, I think sometimes you're just doing what needs to be done at the time, or you see an opportunity, or you see maybe whether it's an opportunity or something that you're not doing that
Right.
you think you have an idea, and just taking that on and doing it, you
Right.
end up
Yeah.
doing whatever it is, and that's kind
Right.
of how it was for me too. I think it's been great. Our company is great that way. That if there's an opportunity or a unique way that we could help our clients differently, if it's your
do it.
idea, then do it. And so
Right.
I've always had those opportunities to be creative and try something,
Just try something new. And that's good because you had to be innovative,
Mm-hmm.
right? So for presidents that's walking in the door day one, what was your vision?
My vision.
Because everybody has a vision, and it can't be what their predecessor did.
Right.
Right.
Well, my predecessor was a longtime mentor for me and is very well known in the community. And so we are very different.
Which was tough.
We
Right.
are very different.
Right.
And so I knew that I had no, that I was trying to be him. Like
Right.
I will
Right.
never be him. So PNC Bank in Kentucky, we're the largest bank in the state of Kentucky.
Mhm.
One of the largest banks in the country, and the Kentucky market for PNC is a big market.
It's
So
a
we
big
produce
market.
a lot of revenue, and we've got to grow that
Right.
revenue. So my vision is to continue to grow, and we do that because we are a team that's based here and we serve our community. So how do I want to do that? I want to do that, number one, through teamwork.
Right.
We have a great leadership team, and we have all these different experts that help clients and industries in different ways. But bringing that team and that expertise together,
Right.
because we said this earlier,
Leader.
the client doesn't think
Right.
about this or that; they
Right.
just need help. And
Yeah.
so, how are we helping our clients and helping our communities? And I'm really proud of the way our leadership team has come together.
Mhm.
To support one another, and then when you have happy employees working together, suddenly you have happy clients.
At Park Duval Community Health Centers, we go beyond medicine, breaking barriers to care across Louisville, Taylorsville, and Eminence, Kentucky. From primary care and dental to behavioral health and pharmacy support, we serve thousands, many facing financial hardship. With 7 locations and a bilingual staff, we welcome everyone because PDCHC, your health is our mission. We are Park Duval for everybody, everywhere.
Tune in to CEO Live Talks with Dr. Swannie Jett every Saturday at noon on Wave 3. In this thought-provoking series, we bring you conversations with influential leaders, visionaries, and changemakers who are making a difference in their communities and beyond. From healthcare innovation and public health initiatives to community building, each episode offers a unique perspective on the challenges and opportunities we face in today's dynamic landscape. Join us as we explore the stories and insights of these inspiring individuals and gain valuable knowledge that can drive positive change in your own life and community. Don't miss an episode. Mark your calendar for Saturdays at noon on Wave 3 to watch CEO Live Talks with Dr. Swannie Jett. Together, we can shape a brighter, healthier future for all. Hello, I'm Dr. Swannie Jett. Please make sure you visit one of our 5 locations, not only in Louisville, but outside of Louisville and surrounding areas. Thank you. I have watched PNC probably for 3 decades. Do a lot in Louisville, Kentucky. But one of the things y'all are stapled with is helping kids. So tell me about that.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that you recognize that. I think the way that I view this is we're the biggest bank in the state of Kentucky. We want to grow.
Right.
The best way for us to grow is to support the community.
Okay.
So if we have more people starting businesses, more families that can buy homes, more people moving to the state, all of those things are going to be helpful for our business too. And it all starts, the research shows that it starts in early education.
Yes, it does.
It's where you can get the most bang, if you will, for your buck. The return on investment in early education is really a catalyst for a lot of other things. So I think it's been over 20 years at this point. PNC Grow Up Great, which is an early childhood education commitment for children birth to age 5. And it means a lot of different things in different communities, but it's really focused on making sure that our youngest community members have access to quality education early in their life. Okay. And we support partners. So, you might see different announcements with libraries, with arts organizations, with organizations like the National Center for Family Learning, 4Cs. So we fund other organizations that are focused on early education.
Okay.
And we've done that for over 20 years.
So I would give you a nugget. When I was health commissioner in Seminole County, there was a documentary called Raising of America. Some of it focused in Boston because there's a correlation between pre-K and health outcomes later on. And so I opened up a movie theater, brought the Board of Education in, the superintendent, and previewed it, red carpet, and then we had a panel discussion. And my premise to them was, if you offer pre-K in the school system for free, it will have major outcomes. And they did it. And it was probably one of very few cities that actually did it.
Right.
And I think that's substantial, and that'd be a great investment.
Right. And I think that's something where we, are focused on health outcomes. And you're absolutely right. When children have access to quality early education before kindergarten, when they show up and they're kindergarten ready, their reading scores are higher, their math scores are higher, their grades in high school are higher, and high school grades can determine risky behavior. Their salaries they earn as young adults are higher, and eventually their longevity, the age they can live to, is longer, just because you focused on quality education early.
Right.
So it's a long-term investment, but I know we're in the same boat where we still have young children, and and having quality child care is another piece that's really important. You can come to work and you feel good, that your children are safe and they're learning, and that enables people to go to work.
Right.
So it's also an investment in the workforce when everyone in the community has access to quality education.
And that's very important. And I know you worry about this as I do. I drop my kids off at school. I'm looking everywhere, making sure nothing happens.
Yeah,
So that's a terrible feeling in this day and age.
it is. It's awful when you drop them off and you kiss them and say you love them and have a
Right.
great day, and you really want to see them in the afternoon too.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah, so let's move on from that subject because I'm going to have to go check on mine. Uh, so what is the future for you?
for me,
Mhm.
well, I've only been in this role for a
A
few
few
years,
years, a
so
few years.
I've got my work cut out for me. PNC has market share in Louisville. We have the opportunity, I think, to really expand outside of Louisville and focus on other growth areas across the state, Eastern Kentucky and Western Kentucky. So I'm excited for our teams to come together around that. And beyond that, I mean, I hope I can continue to give back to the community. I think that's really important, learning what the state of Kentucky needs and where
Right.
we can show up as a team to help bring the state forward.
Wait, you have done a great job. Is there anything else you want to tell our audience what you're doing this PSC and what the future might hold in terms of your vision?
Well, I think we talked about childcare. That's an area that we're invested and will continue to invest in heavily. But I think for the state and for everyone out there, the other areas that we really focus on are financial education and financial literacy, and then also affordable and workforce housing. And we do that in a number of different ways. But I think that's an opportunity that we play as bankers, and as generations come up and they're really digital and tech savvy, they don't necessarily rely on relationships the way that maybe we have in the past with their bankers.
Right.
So we're really focused on how can we help the next generations think about financial education, their own personal financial
Financial
health.
literacy. And we're trying to bring you in the Perk Duval to do that, but also the affordable housing piece and helping people learn about financial literacy and buying a home.
Right,
I mean,
and
that is key.
it all goes hand in hand in many
Hand in hand.
ways.
We talking about social
So-
determinants of health, and I don't know if people really realize that.
Yeah, right.
Well, I want to thank you for coming to the show today. It's been a long time trying to get you on.
I know. Well,
a
it's been so fun.
pleasure. But thank you. This concludes our show for today. And as always, dedicate your life to a mission or cause that will outlast you. Thank you.